Many salutations to viewers and coins of the vault alike. I am Tatsumari, the self-proclaimed keeper of Maple story lore and stories alike. There are many who do it, but I am the only one who does it like me. Ha 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 ha! So today is kind of a sad day today, because it is the last time I will be doing May the Words. Yes, May is coming to an end, and so is the writings of blasting through and trying to create more tales in May the Words. We have currently obliterated our goal of 1.5 million, and let me check. Our goal was 1.5 million words collectively, and then we obliterated that goal, and then the goal got updated to 2.25 million, and that goal got obliterated. So we are currently sitting at 2.64 collective words. Oh, yes! We've done obliterated it, and we got just a little bit past my goal for this community of 50,000 words over the month of May. We are currently all sitting at 58,920. Well, no, maybe we'll see. But as for this year, this is the last one that's happening this year. But yeah. Parker Horton over on YouTube, welcome. How are you doing, man? So, I may do October this year. I don't know for sure. Depends on where I'm at, just overall. But we shall see. Parker Horton, I am doing pretty good. We are going to be having a writing stream this evening, as well as also reading prompts for the story prompts that I brought up with using this prompt right here. Some of you have written your prompt, others may have not, but the prompt is, never before has the winter been so cold. It is so cold, in fact, that even the core of the planet is beginning to cool. Scientists from all over are trying to find a solution, but no one can figure out what is happening. So we shall see. I'm eager to see what you guys come up with for that, if you are going to, submit them. It should the command should work on both Twitch and on YouTube. So, yeah. Liv, good morning. How are you doing? Okay, so yeah, for Parker, the command should work on YouTube. That's in this in the rules here for you guys to check it out. It should work. I'm not 100% sure, but if not, just put a couple messages in there saying, "Hey, pay attention to me. Hey." But yes. I'm doing pretty good. We're getting ready to do my last May the Word stream for this year. And then we shall see from there, and maybe also read some short stories using the prompt, but we shall see. But over on Twitch, I need to take a quick break and do a little ad break right now, because without it, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing, especially not without you guys. So we are going to take that ad break. For those of you on YouTube, you are going to see me convene with my dragon brethren, and for those of you on Twitch, you're just going to get the same thing. Maybe you'll watch the animation, maybe you won't. But, yeah. Don't go anywhere. We shall be back after these massages. All right, let's get back over here to the writing office, and oh, Mama Rednecks with the 6th month of being a sub. Well, thank you. And let's see, what was the thing that I had picked out for it? It was kind of like a skull thing. Volsdot Dokar. Yes. Let's go. Thank you very much. I hope you've been at least mildly entertained by what you see here from here on out. All right. All right, Liv. Thank you for the lurk. Volsdot Dokar. There we go. That's the new term that I'm going to be using. Kind of like, you know how I think it's Black Dragon Tavern has Skull, kind of with the whole Viking aesthetic he's got going on there. I was looking for something to kind of go along with that. I think it was Steelhelm 77 or 77 that kind of inspired me to do that. So I kind of found one that I thought works. Volsdot It's spelled like this. Let's see. Dot. It may even be Dot. Volsdot and it directly translates to drink your fire. But yeah, that will be our chant over here. I kind of wanted it to be something similar to like Fusroda. But so I got like the 3 Volsdot. It is based on the thing what I'm using. It is from the Draconic language, so it fits perfectly. Especially since I am a dragon in human form right now. But you don't want to be hearing about that. You want to be hearing about how we are going to be slamming some words onto the page. So, unfortunately, because this is also on YouTube, YouTube doesn't appear to like having music on in the background. And I can't figure out, I don't know if there's a way to cut the music out in the VODs on YouTube. I'm still working on it. I still got a little bit of research to do, but I don't have anything solid as of yet. So instead, what I'm going to be doing, I will be sharing the playlist that I am going to be listening to, which is this one. And don't worry, YouTube, I will get that playlist for you in just a second. This is my own personal playlist that I like to listen to, of just all kinds of music from all kinds of stuff. It's mostly dance music and whatnot, but I'm going to be starting from further down in the list on a song called Paradigm by Leslie Y. It is kind of a dubstep-ish song. But yeah, that is the song that I'm going to be starting off of in this playlist. As soon as I can get it shared for everybody in the YouTube chat. There we go. All right. So there you have it in the YouTube chat. You also have it in the Twitch chat. Feel free to listen along as we do some writing, slamming words on the page, and having our stories become legendary. So, I also do have my Wheel of Doom is available. I have added a couple things to it. As soon as I can size it down again over here on YouTube. And then size it down over on Twitch. Actually, There we go. That's actually what I wanted to do. Come on. There we go. Let me resize it back over here on YouTube again. So yes, I have added a truth or dare. However, depending on what the truth or dare is, I will also kind of decide on whether or not I go through with it, because, you know, maybe some of you will want to try to get a little more personal than I feel comfortable with, but we shall see what comes up. So, and all this elections are, you get to ask me a question, anything you've ever wanted to know, within reason, of course. I have to read one of my old stories. I have to do a voice of your choosing. Just remember, I can't always replicate them completely, because I am a human and I do have my limits. And the truth or dare, again, within reason, and I will have to decide on the truths or the dares. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, the Wheel of My Doom is available. And these are sorry guys on YouTube, these are mostly stuff over on Twitch. So yeah, sorry. But hopefully you'll have fun no matter what you do. So, who's ready to get some writing out of the way? Let me see some dragon hearts in the chat. Alrighty. So, I will leave my microphone on just so that... Sorry, I accidentally hit my microphone's mute button. But I will leave my microphone on just so you can hear the of the keyboard as I go, just to kind of fill in the blank space on the VOD. However, if you guys want, you can play any of the songs that are on that playlist that I put in the chat, so you guys can listen along with me. Like I said, I am starting with the song Paradigm by Leslie Y, and moving from there. So let's get ready to go. For 30 minutes, we shall be having 30-minute stretches. And during these 30 minutes, I will be just concentrating on the writing more so than anything. You guys can shed your scales and redeem your rewards at any time, but the ones that require my immediate attention, I will not be fulfilling immediately, so that way I can continue to concentrate on the writing, and then once the stretch is over with, I will get back to it. I do have a list over here of who redeemed what and in what order, and then I shall fulfill them then. But for now, let us get ready to do some stuff. And the first 30-minute stretch will begin in 3, a 2, a 1, and go! K.M. Gilbertson, welcome, welcome. How are you doing this evening? one day of work until the weekend, and last night I finally cracked 85,000 total words. Let's go! Book lovers, let's go! How are you doing? Verstoot dokar! Where the book can taste it. Oh, I've been there many a time myself, Gilbert. Mind if I call you Gilbert? Gilby? Ooh, gilded. KM flows best, I find. All right, KM it is. It's simple. Ooh. Interesting dilemma to have. A real Stetson hat. Ooh. Nice. What color is said Stetson hat going to be? I mean, well, hold on. Let me look this up first. All right, so yes, what color of Stetson hat are we thinking of getting? Whiskey brown or black? Nice. Never go wrong with a black hat. I actually have a couple, maybe not Stetsons, but I do have a Harley Davidson cowboy hat. It was like really the only one I could find that would fit my fat head. I don't have a custom one made, but like I got one like out of a boot barn. It's kind of like a Western store out here where I live. But yeah. Amazing collection of journal carbohydrates, and I love them. For a big accomplishment like this, I want a genuine article. Nice. Yeah, I actually something kind of a goal of mine. Maybe one day I'll get off my lazy butt and try and do something about it. But I actually want to try to lose some weight because I have this awesome like kind of goth trench coat that my mom bought for me a few years ago. And I've gained a little weight, so I don't really fit into it very well. It was the largest they had too, which kind of sucks. So I've gotten a little tubby, but I need to see if I can lose some weight so I can fit into it again. It's an awesome thing, especially like once I get into like the whole getup that I made to go with it. It looks awesome. But yeah, I need to lose some weight first. I think I could do it. I got to get off my lazy butt and actually do something about it. I need to do some reference searching first, because I don't exactly remember what happens in the original. Steelhelm, hi, how's it going? Volstad the car! Everything's going pretty well over here. Doing some just mad typing on the keyboard. Getting some more of the story done, or more of this story done. How did your stream go? If you are done. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh, no. Everything seems to be going still strong on your end. Oops. Oh my goodness! We have been raided by raid from the Helmpire! Well then, Volstad the car! Welcome, raiders from the Helmpire. I am Tatsumari, the self-proclaimed keeper of Maple Story lore and tales alike. There are many who do it, but I am the only one who does it like me. Ha ha ha! How's everybody doing? Oh my goodness, Abyssal Forge! Welcome to the vault. You are the new shiny coin, and I hope you are at least mildly entertained by what you see from here on out. Plague Puppy, hey, how's it going? Raid from the Helmpire! Ha ha ha! How was your stream, Steel? Hopefully everything was pretty good, and you ended on a pretty high note. Very good, very good. Well, thank you for the raid, and I hope you're all at least mildly entertained by what you see from here on out. Did a lot of storytelling and so much story writing. Very nice. That's currently what I'm doing right now. Ah, come on. Raid and run, but I must venture off. I wish you the best of streams, friendo. Very well. I know the feeling, especially when you come off a stream. You're usually pretty pooped. So go, sleep away thy cares, get some rest, and may Falcor visit you in your dreams. But for the rest of you who are staying, we are currently down to like the last 5.5 minutes of a writing stretch right now. And as soon as that gets over with, we may do a little short, maybe not short section, but some reading of short stories that have to do with a prompt. Speaking of which, I better put that on screen so you guys know exactly kind of what we're doing. But yes, so if you want to stick around for some awesome stories that become legend, be sure and be patient. Don't know why the impulse struck me, but just burnt the current whip page. What? You burned it? Why would you burn it? Not all the way. Why? I mean, okay, but why? Is it kind of one of those intrusive thoughts in the intrusive thought 1? So the edge of the notebook page in my candle. Oh, okay. Yes, the intrusive thought 1. Hmm. Partly the intrusive thoughts, and partly that my universe answer to something like text messages, writing short notes down on special paper and tossing them into the fireplace for delivery. Okay. So partially an intrusive thought, partially a scientific experiment? Ah. All right. There is our first writing session over with. So let's see. How many words did I get done today? Let's at least starting with this one. 403. Not quite as many as I wanted, but I also did a lot of talking in between and stuff and was welcoming in the raiders, so there is that. But awesome. How about everybody else? How many words did you get done today or during that writing stretch? I'm restructuring a chapter, so no words written, but production. Nice! All right. So, this is one of those parts where... Aha! Mama Rednex is already on it! So this is the part in the stream where we're going to take a small pause and we are going to check out some submissions from you, the viewers and coins of the vault, for the writing prompt. All right. Now, let me get out into the yard first. So I have two stories, dealer's choice, what we read this week. We'll read the other next week. All right, that's fine. So, let me pull it up. Actually, you know what? You tell me which one we're going to read. This is your submission. This is not my choice. You're submitting. You tell me what we read. Okay. Okay, let's read The Last Ice Age this week. All right. The Last Ice Age it shall be. So, let me kind of readjust this over here so everybody can see what's being read. So, strap in, ladies and gents, boys and girls of all ages. Let us begin. The Last Ice Age by Mama Rednax. They're not listening to me! I slam my hands down on my desk, my phone clattering into my coffee mug. Why won't anyone listen to me? Well, Brian says, leaning back in the chair across my office desk, his face nearly disappearing into the hood of his jacket. It's giving the sky is falling vibes from a marine biologist. I glare at him, but I can't deny he's right. When he first came to me with his own findings, it didn't seem possible. When I went public with my findings that deep-sea hydrothermal vents were cooling at an unexplainable rate, everyone dismissed it as climate change rhetoric. Brian's data confirmed what I couldn't prove. This isn't an Earth issue. It's a systematic occurrence across the solar system. Planets and moons are cooling. We just needed someone to take us seriously enough. He secured us enough funding to start looking for the answers, just not the influence to make people listen. We have to trust that your hunch is right, and the team will find something in the Arctic. Brian has this horrible level of optimism that sometimes really bothers me. That is far too much faith in ice core samples that I'm comfortable with giving. I tell him, sulking in my chair, my nose burning from the cold. He laughs, shaking his head. You can believe in microscopic life in an environment that defies the understood logic of life, sit in a room that's barely hospitable to humans, but trusting something is siphoning geothermal heat away from the planetary core, that's where you draw the line? My email chimes, and by the time I've reached the second line, Brian is already out of his chair and coming to read over my shoulder. The ice core samples have been recovered, but so has something else. I reread the report 3 times before I trust my own mouth to speak. Something under the ice? Brian reaches over my shoulder and opens the included ground-penetrating radar image. Zooming in on a section of the image, we both see it. Rocks don't form in hard angles and repeating ribs. Please tell me you're seeing a machine too. Fear makes a shiver crawl down my spine. Look at the angles of the tendrils. They cut through the bedrock without any deviation, I say, my gloved hand pointing to a line out of the center mass. You wanted proof, Brian mumbles, staring at the screen. If that is capable of pulling heat from the outer core, do we even have imaging that can penetrate that deep? I hope you have some intelligent life theories, Brian, I tell him softly, pointing back to the report. That ice core sample dates back several million years. I print 2 copies of the reports, the images, and everything that was sent over. Brian sits on the side of my desk, papers stacked neatly in front of him as he types furiously away on his laptop. I've got the paperwork scattered everywhere, and my own research is piling up as I match my findings to the elements in the report lists. Brian, I say quietly, not wanting to startle him after we've been silent for so long. He glances up at me, and then pauses. What's scarier than finding alien technology buried under miles of ice? When he doesn't answer, I point to the different stacks that I have, my throat tight as I try to get the words out. I think that this isn't the first time the core has been cooled by whatever this thing is, I tell him. What do you mean? I mean, what if this isn't the first ice age that thing has caused? Brian slowly gets up and moves around to look at what I have in front of me. Are you saying this has happened before? His voice pitched tighter now. I think I'm saying that this has happened every time. There's an extended warm period, then a global cooling begins. If this machine is siphoning, then there's a threshold where it stops. My words linger in the air for a moment before Brian launches himself back around the desk in a dash. He types something, then practically throws his laptop on my desk, flipping it around so that I can read the report he was looking at. Equator under frost warning for the first time in recorded history. What do you think that means? I ask, looking back through the papers I have scattered. I don't remember ever seeing a pattern that would suggest it has happened during any of these cooling periods. Because it isn't supposed to. Brian flips his laptop back around after several minutes of typing and clicking. He turns it back around to me. On the screen is a model. He presses play, and the globe begins to cap in ice. It spreads, then pauses for a long time before the cap begins to recede again. The one consistency I've seen with the other planets is the temperature dips, but there's a threshold that isn't crossed. The equator may cool, but it retains enough residual heat that the planet never fully freezes. Brian, I don't speak astrophysics, I tell him. Not because I didn't follow what he said. I have a very difficult time believing what he's implying. If frost has already crossed into the equator, Brian says slowly, I don't think this is an ice age. He looks back at the model, the animation starting over again. I think this is what happens when the machine forgets how to shut off. Oh. Oh no. But still, very nice, Mama Rednecks. Very nice. I like it. It's giving me vibes. Oh, there was a couple of movies that like it instantly comes to mind. Yes, it was really good. There's a movie called The Core, and then there's another one with Bruce Willis, I think it is. Armageddon. I'm pretty sure it is, where they have to go, and like blow up a meteor that's gonna hit Earth. But yeah, it gives me vibes of like Armageddon and The Core mixed together. So yeah, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. So, if you were to continue this, Rednecks, how would you go about it? Would you send a team of scientists to try and break into the machine to shut it off? Kind of like almost like a reverse, Total Recall? Like the original Total Recall? Where you have to like go into some place and shut off the gigantic ice cap melting machine instead of turning it on. Or would you like try to figure out a way how to try to just I was pretty proud of this one. Yep, they would have tried and find the emergency shutdown button. Okay, so another question then would be, would they find said button, or would they do what all like late 90s, early 2000s action movies do and just put a really big bomb in it and hope it blows up and then to stop it? Or do you have like something else entirely different that you would actually do? To quote Armageddon, this is how we fix things on Russians. This is how we fix things on the Russian space station. I actually have never seen Armageddon. I just know about the storyline. That's pretty much it. I have seen The Core, but I haven't seen Armageddon. So he bashes it with a red. Now I can just see it now. He goes in there like, okay, what do we do? How do we shut this off? It's like all alien tech, and then just this guy comes over. This how we fix computers on Russian space station. Bang, 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 bang. Ew. So, would there be any like any explanation for exactly what this thing is? Is it like shall we say like a cosmic what's cosmic regulation engine kind of deal, where it's just on multiple different planets, or is it just a thing that has been there? Is it for this alien tech? Is it for a specific purpose, or is it just there because or would we ever know what the reason would be? So it's an energy farm that has become obsolete infrastructure that's been abandoned. Oh, okay. So it's still working, but the civilization that originally made it no longer needs it, or is no longer around, kind of deal. Okay. Oh, I just had an idea. This a part of this. If this were to become a story of some kind, what if the major volcanoes that erupted, the chaos and people fighting, and the Russians show up just inside radio range, and when asked what the heck they're doing, quote, the Operation Praying Mantis, Needies, we're just here to take pictures for history. But like, what if the major volcanoes that exploded in the past, all of those volcanoes are actually like this siphon's like machine exhaust, and the only reason they exploded is because the exhaust got backed up or covered up and plugged up, and like the exhaust gases just like couldn't be contained anymore, and it just went boo, and that's what caused the eruption. Or heck, you could even go the full Halo route and say that Earth is a basically a machine planet created by something, and this is because of the way it's here. It was created to be an energy siphon from the sun, and we just happen to populate it after thousands of years or whatever. Okay, so we do have an ad break coming up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and play that ad break. For those of you on YouTube, you guys will watch me convene with my dragon brethren for a little while. And for those of you on Twitch, you will see the same. For those of you who are immune to ads, you will get to see that animation and listen to the little charming music that goes with it. For those of you who aren't immune to ads, well, you'll be in ad jail for a little while, and then you come back. We shall do some more stuff, some more writing. Or we'll read another submission for the prompt, depending on if anybody else has a prompt they'd like to submit. So either way, we shall be back after these massages. So don't go anywhere. Alrighty, so let's get back to the writing office over here and get ready for our next writing stretch. Now, this particular writing stretch, I am actually going to go back and do some editing on this, on Korax the Dragon's Heir. Or you know what? Actually, why don't we do this? I would actually like you guys' help with this, if you are willing to help me out. Now, this is for anybody on YouTube and Twitch. You guys are all invited for this helping out. I want to try to make this better. So, I want to hear you guys' opinion on stuff as we go through things. Does that sound good? Sound interesting? All right. Cool. Bring it. Bring it! All right. So there is a spot over here that was made mention earlier of something that was a little kind of seemed like it was passed over. Of the spots that I have read so far, if you remember anything, is there some spots where it could use some help, if you remember or whatnot? Or should I start from the top again and we'll kind of go, shall we say, page by page? I actually need some different music here first, because this awesome music that I'm playing doesn't really lend itself to more. My only hang up has always been when he loses control. That's only been the spot that threw me, just a hair. Okay. Which spot? Like during the showcase? Is that kind of what you're talking about there? Let's see. I know what I want. Oops, hold on. Okay, so, all right, I think we can hear. Okay. With the dude conversation where Quarks is like being told he has no choice. Was the dude... That might have been from the old one. He has... With a dude conversation where Quarks is being told he has no choice. Do you kind of remember... It might have been because I haven't been able to hear the rewrite in full. Okay. Yeah, I don't have the entire thing rewritten yet. I basically only have the first 2 chapters rewritten. Let's see. Okay, so the most recent spot, at least that the last I remember was, I think it was, I can't remember who it was on Wednesday. Somebody brought up the fact that his kind of starting to lose control during the, okay, dang it, keep hitting buttons I don't mean to. Is starting to lose control during the showcase. Okay, so like right here, he's kind of doing a showcase of his powers. Korax fell to the ground. He's basically like his body is just getting ready to go berserk. And you are mine. You're mine, human. You will be my instrument of a new age. Is that kind of what you're talking about? Okay. So, I mean, I know it's kind of brushed over a little bit, but like, how is it throwing you? Just so again, because I may not be seeing issues. I'm too close. I will admit I'm too close to the project to probably see some issues. So, how is it throwing you? That confused me a little for who was talking to Korax and what we know at this point. Okay. So right here, like he could feel his fangs beginning to grow, digging into his gums as he clutched at his chest, and that damned dragon claiming to be his ancestor boomed in his mind. You will be mine, human. You will be my instrument for a new age. I mean, that's what I have written. Do I maybe need to like kind of flip orders of stuff, orders of things happening, or because like this is or do I maybe need to get rid of it? Well, it's actually okay. So I'm just gonna go full spoiler mode here because it's probably gonna still be a very long while until I get there. But it's supposed to be set up for something that not only happens in the or that is hinted at, or not hinted at, but something that happens in the second book, as well as what happens at the end of the book. It's supposed to be. I'm still not 100% sure exactly how I'm supposed to do it, but the voice is supposed to be from essentially a dragon tyrant, like a full-on, full-size dragon. We're talking mountain-sized dragon. That is currently kind of sealed away in like a death-like slumber. And at the end of the story, he's going to be broken free, and he is wanting Korax through a very complicated, currently complicated set of events. I'm probably going to do something a little different. This dragon and Korax are blood related. Kind of like uncle and nephew kind of deal. No, this is not the first time he's heard it. This is further back in the story when Korax actually falls asleep. He actually has a dream right here. Right here. And just overall, this is not the first time that's happened. A dragon the size of a mountain snarled and snapped his jaws as Korax leapt high to avoid his razor-like teeth. But as the massive dragon calmed, rearing his head in a grand display of regal terror, it grinned as flames licked at his lips. "You will become my heir." Okay. Yeah, so on beyond this spot, it also isn't the first time this has happened. It has happened. I may need to do a little bit more stuff, but I may need to put more hints at it, but that has happened many, 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 many more times before. It's not just for the beginning of the story. This is something Korax has been dealing with for a long time. The only other thing that I want to include somewhere is trying to be like an explanation of what the Kokoton are. But I haven't found a good spot for that. Because I've majorly changed what the Kokoton are. In the original story, the very original story, they're supposed to be very rare gems. They're actually supposed to be dragon tears. And that because of that, you can use them, like, the full-size crystal is probably about the size of a grapefruit. But you can, like, pinch off smaller pieces of it and use it for a power source. But it's maybe emphasizing Korax is haunted by this when he breaks through while he is struggling. Okay. So, like, at the beginning dream here? Let's see. Like, at the beginning dream or when he's during the showcase? Or the showcase. That draws the line back to the dream isn't just a dream. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so far, that is the overall stuff of so far. That is stuff that I will definitely need to fix. Okay. So, why don't we do this? That's the only spot I have wondered about. Okay. All right. So, how about we do this? For the rest of the stream, we'll go page by page and see if there's anything that you guys can find that may need some working, that you guys have questions about, that you guys think needs some reworking or whatever. You all are coming in this with me if you'd like. Or we can just go for another writing session to finish out the stream. What do you say? For everybody who is active in chat right now, maybe not on lurking part of it, who wishes to be part, let me know. I'm in for going page by page. Okay, we got Rednax. Anybody else? Any lurkers who want to become not lurkers for a little while, for say next half hour or so? I'm asking you guys if you would like to help me try and make my story better. We're gonna. I was asking if we can go like page by page, and you guys can help me make the story better. Kind of, sort of beta reading it, I guess. Like I'll read it out, and you guys can point out to me anything that you find that may need some changing or what I could make better. I'm actively trying to make this better, is what I'm saying, and so, just kind of wrapping up the May the Word stream is really what I'm going for here. Okay, yeah, it's just for mostly because I know I am too close to the story, so I will overlook mistakes and possible stuff that is might be issues down the road. So I am asking for those of you who aren't as close to the story as I am to be my eyes and ears so I don't overlook stuff. That's pretty much all I'm asking for. If you are interested. If not, we'll do another writing stretch. Alpha Rita team assemble! Alrighty. Yeah, if you guys are up for, let's do this. Okay, so we're going to go page by page as much as we can until the end of the stream. And you guys can let me know if you see or hear anything that may need some adjusting. So, starting from the top. A wise man once said that war never changes. But that man forgot to mention how war changes everything. It was in the year 2034 when everything broke. The strain between countries had become so intense that all it took was a simple mistranslation of a peace treaty. Within hours, the world was a glowing husk of its former self. Entire nations were reduced to immense slag pits, while the rich and powerful took the most well-defended cities and citadels, adopting a language that only they would use. But this was not the end. As it became known, the Great Ending drew new lines for countries, states, and cities. But with so much radiation worldwide, there needed to be a change. Bored millionaires and scientists found ways of using genetics to allow humanity to resist radiation and live without fear. Their research revealed that creatures thought to only exist in fantasy and myth were, in fact, real. Elves, orcs, dwarves, centaurs, satyrs, nymphs, fairies, and dragons lived in the now ancient medieval period. These creatures lived on in the genetic code of modern humanity, and with this discovery, they were brought forward once more after 1,400 years. Races of people once thought to only exist in fairy tales became a reality, and the world began again in the medieval age with the assistance of ancient technologies. Humanity's theaters of war use soldiers in gleaming plate armor and mechanical behemoths for artillery or transport. What was once called science was now called magique, to manipulate many things in the world. It is during this time, when the world has since healed, that our story begins. He and his child companion had wandered for days, seeking a place to call home. It wasn't easy, as Korax and Shinzo were escorted away by soldiers of every kingdom that visited. The Durana of the North, commonly known as dwarves in fantasy stories, turned him away even before entering their gates. The Sang Shu of the Eastern Empires kept a standing bounty on his head for a year's wages. The Quits of the Plains, a race of pygmy humanoids, nearly killed him on the spot when they learned of his name. And every other human kingdom throughout the world would escort him away from their gates.
You must have done some pretty bad stuff for everyone to hate you,
Shinzo chuckled, shifting the heavy bag over his shoulder and resting his grip on his walking staff, or resetting his grip on his walking staff. Korax sighed heavily, adjusting the grip on his massive sword, carrying 16 large crystals mounted along the blade's edges. It involves events of my past, he said with controlled emotion. Shinzo shivered. Korax's speech always sounded cold, but betrayed his nature as a powerful protector. Okay. So, repeat the same sentence. Thought only to exist in fairy tales. It might be something to tag to see if you can reward without the same words. Very minor edit. Okay. Yeah, I saw that. So probably let's see. Yeah, just get rid of it altogether. It seems like to work better. Discovery they were brought forward. The world began again in the medieval age with the assistance of ancient technologies. Okay. Seems like it works better that way. Just get rid of it so far. Let's see. What does this say I should do? Yeah, as soon as it happened, it was like, oh, yeah. All right. Okay, so what if... for now, I'll just leave it. Okay. You know what? Let me... didn't mean to push that button. Let me zoom out a little bit. Anything else that anybody else caught? In listening? I'm not exactly sure how to help you guys see what's on the page here. That all works though, especially Shinzo being able to name Korax's speech pattern. Okay. Book lover, did you hear anything that might need changing or stuff? It does a lot of character. Would without saying Korax deadpans like a pro. That's a little character without saying deadpans like a pro. Oop. Look, I didn't really notice anything that needed fixing. Do we get more explaining for all the mythical creatures later in the story? Later, I do have plans to kind of expound on the mythical creatures. Just for now, this is it kind of just a setup. And basically, this entire story is like without a definite number. I don't think I've made mention of it, but it happens like the story picks up like 200 years after World War III happens, essentially. So somewhere in the 2230s, essentially, is where the story is actually happening. Because, radiation needs to dissipate. But I do have, this is a rewrite of an old story that I've done. So in this rewrite, I do have plans to try and visit more of the mythical creatures. I haven't fully figured out where to get there yet, but I do have plans for that. All right. So, it'd be cool if you explain what happens when the mythical creatures are found. Though it might add, I believe, is the prologue. Yeah, the prologue over here is really just to kind of set it up that this all happens after World War III, essentially, which is this right here. It's not even, I'm not even really sure you could call it a prologue, just kind of a intro, I guess you could say. Structurally, you want to pull Shinzo shivered off of Korex's statement. Okay. Okay. So really what I'm trying to do there is get him to get like chills. Should be on its own line. Okay. So it really it's just its own sentence right there. 2 words. Shinzo shivered. Goes on the line and a new paragraph afterward. So, like this? Is that kind of what you're talking about? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'll have to see if I can figure a way of getting that into my brain. Because this is one of those spots where the mechanical portion of English I'm not really good at. Okay, so anything else on the first page here that you guys caught? Okay. I'm like wanting to know more about the story, which is a good sign. Okay, cool. All right. So, on to the next page. Shinzo shivered. Korax's speech always sounded cold, but betrayed his nature as a powerful protector.
You say that all the time, but what are you talking about? Didn't you say one time that you were a soldier?
Yes, Korax replied.
Can you tell me where from?
Horek.
Horek? In the west? All the way in the west?
Yes.
You must have really screwed up if they kicked you out.
It was their failings, not mine, Korax said, almost sounding angry despite his measured tone.
Care to share?
Shinzo asked with a child's innocence, only to shrink away from his traveling companion when the air around them warmed to bonfire temperatures. No, Korax replied, still measured with his tone, though his eyes narrowed to vertical slits as he glared at the boy. Shinzo nodded his understanding, shifting the backpack once more. Would you like me to carry that for a while? Korax asked, holding out his hand.
Could you please? My back hurts.
Shinzo huffed, handing off the bag and leaning back to stretch.
Where are we headed to anyway?
He asked, jogging to catch up. Varioso.
An Elfin Kingdom? Oh, great. They're all just stuck-up know-it-alls who think they're superior to everyone. Why go there in the first place? Do you even know Elvish?
It was part of my training in Horek. I know many languages. Shinzo sighed, knowing he wouldn't get any more information before seeing a large rock in the road and running to it.
I need a break. We've been walking for hours,
the boy whined, leaning against his staff and reveling in the shade of a nearby tree. Korax nodded, sitting beside the boy and setting his sword on the ground. While resting, he watched the sparks of light within the crystals twist and dance like a star captured in a glass sphere. As he watched it, the light wavered as a faint whisper hummed on the winds around him, cleaving his thoughts. The sound made his eyes narrow, looking down the road in the direction it came from.
Bluntness with adorable doe eyes.
Okay, so on that page, did anybody catch anything that would need some alterations? Yeah, like I kind of imagine where this, like the main portion of where this is happening is like the part about Shinzo shifting the bag before Korax after you need to carry the bag should be on its own, I believe, because it's a different character making a moment, not part of what he said. Okay. Let's see. So, like this? Is that what you're talking about right there? Here. I'm going to turn off the chat on screen just so that way okay. Okay. Cool. So there's that one. Anything else? Oh, I guess I should say, like, where I imagine this happening is, like, I want to say maybe on, like, the west coast of Europe kind of deal. And that at this point, just because of how violent World War III was, the U.S. has basically just become Antarctic. Or like a further extension of the Arctic. Oh, no, wait. No, excuse me. Not Europe. South America. So they're kind of like, where this is happening is kind of like near the equator, but like on the eastern coast of South America, and then Horek is supposed to be all the way on like the western coast, maybe kind of even near like the southernmost tip of Central America. Because later in the story there is a spot where they have to travel very far north to what is now the frozen wasteland of American Sana, which is basically just an extension of the Arctic because of how violent World War III ended up being. But that's kind of where I imagine this whole place happening. But as far as anything else on this particular page, was there anything else that you guys caught? Enemy languages. New paragraph. Shinzo's side. So, like this? Is that what you're saying? All right. I was told today to add the 5 senses to a story. Notice the temperature change sound at the end, but do you mention like feel of the road later? I don't remember. At least not off the top of my head. I'll probably have to add that somewhere. Like because it's a dirt road, essentially what it is. And yeah, I do get that. I've get to something even better. Explain his sword. Okay. So where should I put that? Because here's kind of the at least the it's kind of in a weird spot right now. At least the way I understand the way stories should go and stuff. Right here, watch the sparks of light within the crystals twist and dance like a star captured in the glass sphere. At this point, it would feel like all it's there is for the reader. Like both Korax and Shinzo both know what this sword is at this point, and even the Kokotans. So I'm not sure I could put it here, or I'm not sure how to put it here. Because like I said before, in the original story, the Kokotans, which are the crystals that he has in the sword, the crystals are actually dragon's tears. But in this new version, I'm actually going to be making the crystals, they're nothing magical, but they are in fact, let's see, what did I call them? I really liked the explanation I gave them. They are self-regenerating fusion generators. I would mention that it might be something you add. It helps with the reason it's seen instead of just looking for above. Okay. Yeah, I might add like the road is crunching under their feet as they continue on down the road. After this little break they have. So, and then also like Because I kind of get what you're going after, Rednecks, but I'm not sure it could work here yet. And I'm not sure how to make it work. Yeah, it's fine. There's a lot to explain about it, but I don't think this would be the spot to do it. It is pupils narrow. Staring down the road. Drawing his gaze down the road. All right. All right. So, if that's it, I think we got time for one more page. And then I think that's where we shall call it. All right. So, while resting, he watched the sparks of light within the crystals twist and dance like a star captured in a glass sphere. As he watched it, the light wavered as a faint whisper hummed on the winds around him, cleaving his thoughts. The sound made his pupils narrow, drawing his gaze down the road. It wasn't the voice of flames he'd become so familiar with. It was a whisper that sparked an ache in his heart from long ago. Is she there? And will she remember me? He thought, the lights within his sword shifting to a lavender color. Korax, what's wrong? Shinzo asked when he saw the color change, standing and looking down the road with him. It's nothing. Let's continue, Korax commanded flatly, picking up his sword, the dragon's claw, and resting it over his shoulder. The pair walked north in silence, stopping after the sun had set and made camp for the night. Okay. Korax held his palm forward as his sleeve pulled back, revealing a blackened bracer. Red-orange light spread through circuit-like veins within the metal, and over the back of his hand as flames leapt from his open palm, igniting the pile of sticks for a campfire. Or, let's see, probably that.
Do you think I could get one of those tech gloves?
Shinzo asked, setting up a few sticks with some of their dried meats. The magic that made them was kept only by Horak. It is doubtful any exist outside its borders, Korax answered, watching the fire dance within the circle of rocks. After eating, and Shinzo was fast asleep, Korax sat sentry, thinking back to his comrades from so many years ago. Typhoon, Ashni, Nuru, and the others that had been brothers and sisters to him. After a few minutes, Korax could no longer fight his fatigue, his head dropping to his arms. As soon as his eyes closed, he was there again. A dragon the size of a mountain snarled and snapped his jaws at Korax, or as Korax leapt high to avoid his razor-like teeth. But as the massive dragon calmed, rearing his head in a grand display of regal terror, it grinned as flames licked at its lips. "You will become my heir," he boomed, lunging at Korax faster than he could react, waking him with a start. Before him, the campfire had died to become a pile of embers, leaving him and Shinzo trembling in the cool of night. Tossing in another few scraps of wood on the pile, Korak snapped his fingers and ignited it again. Hold on. Though it took more effort this time. As the power left him, he could feel a pulse through his back, and the crystals within the dragon's claw flared. Still, he plagues me, Korax thought, sighing and waiting for the sun to come up. After hours of waiting, the sun finally broke over the horizon and warmed Korax, easing the sore spots on his shoulder blades. With a gentle shake, he woke Shinzo, handed him one of the remaining loaves of bread for breakfast, and helped him pack his blanket before moving on. Okay, so I know I did some editing while I was reading along the way, but did anybody else catch anything? All right. What's going on here? Yes. Here, hold on. Let me go like this. I know it's a little smaller, but it's the only way I can kind of get the whole page into the picture here. The yellow part marked also needs to be down from the talking. Where? Right here? Okay, so like the Ater eating. Ater eating. Okay, why? Okay, so over here, my editing software is saying I should say, and with Shinzo fast asleep. You have it right? Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. The nights. Cool. Shouldn't he be? And Shinzo fell fast asleep. After eating, and Shinzo fell fast asleep. Therefore was correct and with. Okay. Don't worry. No, I'm asking. Should we end Shinzo fast asleep? After eating and with Shinzo fast asleep, Korak set a sentry. Okay. That sounds better. Moth, by the way, Moth Equals, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Was there anything else? Does TK stumble over it when he speaks? If not, it's probably good. Hope you're doing. I'm good. Good. Just doing some kind of, shall we say, alpha reads of the story that I've been working on for the month of May, for the May the Words event that was going on. That reminds me. Okay. Well, if you guys want, if you're both, for anyone who is part of the same page Discord server, I can just send me a direct message, and I will make this available to you. And if you want, you can read what I have rewritten so far. It's not a lot from the entire story, but you're free to read what I have so far, and let me know what you think. Okay, so we're going to go like this. And I'm going to put this highlight here because... Actually, first off, we're going to take off all the highlights. And then we're going to put this on here. It's not my Discord. I am part. It's actually a Discord that is run. I think it's by author Christie. I think, who was one of the other streamers for May the Words. Some I could be wrong. I believe Mama Rednex is also a moderator in that server. Are you not? Or am I fever dreaming something? Okay. So yeah, Book Lover, I don't know if you're a part of that one or not. But if you want, I thought I saw your name in there once. I don't know for sure. Let's put it that way. But if you are part of it... Oh, there's the invitation right there. And oh yeah, I'm also in Yoon's Discord. So yeah, if you guys want, Rednex and Book Lover, if you want, just send me a direct message and I will link you a share to this document, which is what I've been working on right now. Like I said, I don't have everything on there. And most of this was just kind of some of it was just more so a stream of consciousness as I was working on it. So you can read what's there, and I should be able to give you a share document to where you can make suggestions and whatnot on it. But yeah. Let me know, and like I said, just direct message me, and we'll go from there. So that is where we shall call it for the evening. Thank you all for coming. I hope you all were at least mildly entertained by what you saw here. And a big, big, big welcome to the vault. Don't give me commenter powers. I will overload the system with emotes. Just... Well, look, I'm trying to get better here, okay? Even if it's emotes or something like that, at least at least this way I'll know, okay, this is cool, this is good, this is good, this is good. But again, a big old warm welcome to Abyssal Forge, the newest coin of the vault. You are the new shiny coin, and I hope you're at least mildly entertained by what you see from here on out. And yes, so 6.5 scales now. Let's go! All right, cool. Like I said, this is going to be my last May the Words stream, so this is going to be the last time you guys are going to see the May the Words intro and the May the Words outro. I do have previous May the Words on October intros available. Not available, but I might upload them to my YouTube channel for viewing purposes, for fun. But, yeah. So then on Sunday, we are going to be going back into MapleStory, where we are going to go through the final chapter of Heroes of Maple. And like I said before, it's all part of the main storyline of MapleStory. It's also kind of some side content that you don't really need to do in the game, but it does give greater context for overall what happens in the bigger storyline of the game. So if you do decide to come over and check it out, that will be at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And bring your tissues. It's not quite as sad as Black Heaven, but it's still pretty sad. Especially having to do with the Demon Slayer and Damien, for those of you who are following along with it. And then on Wednesday, we are going to be doing some more. It's just a regular old writing stream where I'm going to be doing some editing of Guardians. We're going to get back to that. Try to get it up on Inkit and Wattpad. If you want to check it out, you are more than welcome to. This is where I have currently Sacred Tears and Guardians written. And if you want to check out the rest of the story, read further on, you can also check it out here. This has also New Dawn, which is book 3, and also Legends of Osiria, book 4. Probably about half of that. There might be some misses here and there, and just kind of not so great stuff, just because I only catch so much. I'm only one person. But if you'd like to read it, go for it. And yeah. That's what we're going to be doing on Wednesday. And then next week, Friday, we're going to be back with some more prompt reading with the same prompt. If you missed this week, having a story written or writing a story and having it read live on stream, don't worry, you're going to have it back again. But I'm not going to be doing any writing. I'm actually going to be playing Satisfactory in building up my Train Empire factory. And it will all be very satisfactory. You guys also get to play bingo on there. I have to double check again what my prize was for getting bingo, just to make sure that it's all good. But yeah, it'll be all a good fun time. And we're also going to be reading short stories based on the prompt. So I hope to see you guys there for all that fun stuff. So, from the end of May the Words, I hope to see you on the next one.
There's a feeling deep inside. Let it be your prayer. Show me the power you can hide.
Thanks for coming to my stream. Get some rest, dream of tomorrow, and keep the imagination rolling. I go live every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday at these times, so if you don't want to miss a stream, subscribe or follow to become a coin of the vault. May the Words is rolling all month long, and we have a collective goal of 1.5 million words. Be sure and check out these other May the Words streamers for all things writing, and give them a follow too. I hope to see you next time. So until then, my friends,
The you that's hidden deep, deep down, and like the fire in your soul.